Hey fam, here's a mantra I try to live by. If it doesn't serve, then it doesn't deserve. If you can apply this from top to bottom in your life, it can make all the difference in the world. Let's talk about this story. Welcome to the Yellow Chair Podcast with X, where we deep dive into the stories that drive our lives. Hey, welcome to the Yellow Chair. Let's get storified. Now, a little bit of housekeeping before we get into this topic. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, make sure you do. If you're loving it and I'm adding value, leave a review wherever you're listening, whether that's Apple, Spotify, Google. I would love to hear from you. And if you want to get real-time updates and bonus material as it relates to the podcast and some of the other live stuff we're doing, like on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook around Story, the inner game, Story for culture building and behavior and performance, and even Story for building brand and communicating powerfully, then here's what I want you to do. Pull out your phone and text me at 800-425-2095. That's 800-425-2095. And I'll get you on that list and make sure you're up to date on all the things that we're doing over here in my camp. Now, the business is out of the way. Let's talk about this idea. If it doesn't serve, then it doesn't deserve. If we can apply this from top to bottom in our life, it can make a huge difference in every aspect of our life, professional, business-wise, in our faith, in our body, in our relationships with our kids, the whole nine. It's a mantra. It's an idea. It's a story. If it doesn't serve, then it doesn't deserve. It doesn't deserve your thoughts, your feelings, and definitely not your actions, because time is precious. Now, from the outside looking in, that comment can feel really dialed into this idea of selfishness. But if you break it apart, what you really find at the core of it is actually, I wouldn't say selflessness, but definitely a balancing act. And here's how that looks. The idea of if it doesn't serve, it doesn't deserve isn't stuff that you apply to the external world. You apply it to your life as well. If you don't serve, you don't deserve. There's nothing like putting yourself into service, whether it comes to your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions and your actions. You put yourself into service. There's nothing like putting yourself into service that will make you feel deserving, will make you feel like accepting a gift into your life is not only something that you're willing to do, but it may be time for that. It may be time for value exchange. Service is that conduit to becoming confident that you do deserve. Now, taken to the extreme, and I've done this myself, you put yourself into this constant having to prove yourself, constantly having to serve before you will allow yourself to deserve. And that's a whole nother topic. Every good thing has a limit. You drink too much water, you die. You get too much sun, you die. So there's a balancing act. Life happens in the middle, the contextual mixing and arranging of polar opposites to come together to create something sustainable. And that's that middle ground of serving and deserving and being able to play that out in your life. Now, applying this to your life can be transformational, especially for someone like me who, if I'm being fully transparent, I suffer from the idea of not feeling worthy at times. Like I haven't paid my dues, or I'm not deserving of what comes next. So I'll kill myself, give everything I have to a thing. And then when that thing doesn't return or reciprocate or provide me the value and confirmation and the pat on the back that I'm looking for, I'm crushed. But I'm able to put a halt on that pattern inside of me by asking the question, if it doesn't serve, does it deserve my time? Does it deserve my thoughts? Does it deserve my emotions? Does it deserve my action? If you evaluate, weigh, and measure from that perspective, I promise you that a lot of things in your life you've been giving service to that just don't deserve it. And then vice versa. When you look inside and you ask the question, am I being of service? All of us say we want more. We want more love. We want more money. We want a better body. We want more friendship. We want more fun and excitement. Well, have you been serving in that capacity in your life, giving that which you seek to receive? The surest way to get more money is to go out into the world and to make somebody else more money. The surest way to get love is to go give love. The surest way to be blessed is to be a blessing to someone else. In other words, this mantra, this idea is not just for you to punt on things in your life. It's for you to look inside in the mirror at yourself and ask the question, do I truly believe I deserve? And it's very hard to have that feeling congruently where it's steeped into you emotionally if you haven't served, if you haven't given. I'll tell you one more thing. I remember working with a client, and he was in this space of not feeling deserving. And I said to him, the other day I was walking down the street, and I had $20 in my pocket, and a bum homeless person was asking for change. I reached in, I gave him $20. I walked down the street. A few blocks later, I see another homeless person. He's asking for money. I reach into my pocket and I give him all I had. All I had was 2 dimes. I gave him 20 cents and I kept on walking. I said, how should I have felt that I only gave that bum, or that homeless person rather, 20 cents? And my client was like, well, it wasn't a lot, but you did give him something. I said, yeah. Why should I feel a certain way when I'm giving a gift? No matter how small it is, no matter how big it is, if I'm giving a gift and I truly believe that I'm giving something, I don't have to feel any kind of way about what has been given. I know that I'm being of service. But when you start quantifying and putting labels on and measuring and weighing and putting all of these ego-based criteria on your level of service, it is going to be impossible to feel deserving. So as an experiment, if you want to place this into your life, here's the experiment I want you to run. Every few hours or so, set a timer on your phone and ask the question, if it doesn't serve, it doesn't deserve. Or rather, is what I'm thinking, feeling, and doing in service of something to make me more deserving or to help me feel deserving? Or is this thing that I am thinking, feeling, and doing actually serving me, so it deserves my attention? That level of introspection and mindfulness can transform the landscape. Transform. You can start putting down the things that you've been doing, thinking, feeling for so long that are not in service of you and who you are today and where you're going. All that pain, all that trauma, all the things that you've been holding on to, you can let it go. It's not in service. I have one very powerful story I want to share with you from my childhood. And I can honestly say that what I'm about to share with you for many people is kind of traumatic. But when I look back on it, I'm actually quite thankful because it served me. And here's the story. I was around 7 or 8 at the time. We're in San Diego visiting my family, and my aunt, she has a pool. And we're living in Oakland, California, kind of poor. We don't have a pool, so we're like, oh yeah, pool. So all the little kids, we would play in the pool. But there's this shallow end that's maybe like 2 feet. And then there's a deep end. And I couldn't swim, so you would never go to the deep end. So I get out of the pool and I'm playing with these Hot Wheel cars. You remember those Hot Wheel cars? Right? And I'm playing with it. I bend over. I'm by the pool's edge and I throw it between my legs and the car goes into the deep end. Boop. All the way to the bottom. My dad comes up behind me and says, hey, go get it. I'm like, what? Go get it now. And I'm crying at this point. He picks me up, go get it, throws me in the deep end. I'm struggling for air. I'm going down. I'm swallowing water. I feel like I'm going to die. I'm crying. I'm panicking. And somehow, some way, I'm able to pull myself out of the pool. I'm crying. I'm hollering. I'm on the other side of the pool. My dad says, come here now. Come here, boy, right now. I'm crying. I'm hollering. I walk over to my dad because he scares me to death. He says, go get it. Picks me up, throws me in again. Same thing, fighting for my damn life. I come up, I get out, and we do this dance a good half dozen times before my mom comes over and says, hey, Bernard, leave that boy alone. And he finally lets me be. I'm crying. I'm shook. I feel like I almost died like 6 times. But you know what happened? 10 minutes later, crying by my lonesome on the side of the house while all the other people went back to whatever the hell they were doing, I realized something. I didn't die. I didn't die. Right? I was still here. I was okay. And you know what I did 10 minutes later after that? I was the only little kid playing in the deep end. The point I'm trying to make here is that you can sit in your trauma, you can sit in your drama, but if it's not serving you, why? Why sit there? Why engage it? Why egg it on? Why give it fuel? Every story that we bring inside of us, in order for it to have a compelling reach, we have to practice, drill, and rehearse that story. But when you live by this idea, if it doesn't serve, then it doesn't deserve, you will fight to find an empowering meaning, even if it's just simply, I refuse. I refuse to accept that. I don't care how factually true. I don't care what happened. I don't care how much you or anybody else wants to say these are the facts and this is what happened. I don't give a shit. It doesn't serve me, so it doesn't deserve me, period. Reframe, retell a story that empowers you, that deserves your thoughts, that deserves your feelings, that deserves your actions. And I can honestly say that's been a pattern throughout my life. And I think that's why, despite all the things I've been through, I've been able to reframe them into the stories that serve me. That serve me. And I've been able to teach others the same thing. And it starts with this very simple idea. Get in the habit of asking yourself, is this serving me? If it's not serving me, making me better, helping me, empowering me, then it doesn't deserve me, period. End of story. It doesn't deserve you. And that is the starting point to taking back the narrative, taking back the story, and starting to rewrite a new one, a more empowering narrative that does deserve you. It's simple. If it doesn't serve you, then it doesn't deserve you. I'm out. Hey fam, thanks again for joining me in the yellow chair. I want to invite you to go even deeper, to take this to the next level by pulling out your phone and texting me at 800-425-2095. That's 800-425-2095. That's my direct number. Type in the word yellow chair. And when you text me, you'll be joining my X Factor weekly insider community where I send out resources to help you to continue to storify your life and to lead your story. So don't miss that opportunity. 800-425-2095. Thanks again for joining me here in the yellow chair. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share these podcasts. We're trying to change 100 million people's lives, and you're a part of that. So thank you again, and I see you in the next yellow chair. I'm out.